Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
How
How
are
are you?
you? It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. How are you doing? You fine?
Good, good. Thank you so much.
That's so nice. I was now sitting at the window looking at my winter here, and I wonder what weather do you have now? Just
Not winter. It was now it's cooled off a little bit, but 2 or 3 days ago it was over 30 degrees.
over 30.
Over 30.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really good.
So we in America we would say we use Fahrenheit. It's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and
Uh-huh.
that's like summer temperature, 30, 34 degrees, something like that. It was very hot.
I see. You're lucky. That's so good.
Well, I miss the snow, I would say.
Well, yeah. Come back to Russia. Here we have lots of snow from the very first day of November. It's really,
Yeah,
really,
I
really.
saw some pictures from Magnitogorsk, and there was maybe 20, 30 centimeters of snow or something like that in the pictures
That's
that I saw.
true. There are snowmen all over the park. That's
That's
pretty.
amazing.
Yeah. So let's get to our Thanksgiving Day topic. It's not that
Hmm.
very popular among Russian moms,
That
but
is okay.
well, that's fine. But there are lots of interesting things I think in that holiday because it's a good part of culture, and that's why we're discussing this today. So as
Hmm.
usual, I have prepared some questions for you, and so the first question is, when we were last speaking about Halloween, you said it's not, of course, that much important as Thanksgiving Day and as Christmas. Well, Christmas is okay, it's clear. What about Thanksgiving Day? And if we are gonna speak about all holidays that you have in America, which are most important and which are less important?
So the most important holiday is probably Christmas, as you may have guessed. After that, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I might say, is number two, or New Year's. New Year's might be number two as well. Um, then after that, we have Columbus Day.
Mm-hmm.
Columbus Day. Um, and let's see. Then you start to look at Halloween, Easter. Um, oh, in America, of course, actually probably number three, maybe, or number two is our 4th of July,
Mm-hmm.
our Independence Day.
Yeah.
That's definitely like number two or number three. Uh, hmm, I wish I had a list. I think without naming too many, I would say the top few are Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and Independence Day. And that's probably because nobody has to work on those days.
Oh, yeah. That's
Usually,
true.
anyway.
This is true. Oh, okay.
And I think that in general, most holidays tend to revolve around the fact that people don't need to work on those days, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's the one. Those are the days that people find the most important.
Well,
In
I
addition,
hope.
there's tradition.
Yeah, I hope we'll be able to make a Christmas stream as well, where I will ask you about this kind of days off during the holidays, winter holidays and stuff, because it's
Hmm.
very curious to know. But well, yeah, I see. I'm just thinking now that in Russia, the most part of holidays, it's for the first part of the year, like starting from the New Year's Day, and then it's Orthodox Christmas, and there are like Mother's Day and Father's Day and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Well, in America, it looks like the main part started from the summer, like the 4th of July, and then, by the
Hmm.
way, when is the Columbus Day?
Columbus Day is, I think, the first Monday of October.
So it's also like following.
Yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
that's what it is. Because Thanksgiving isn't on a certain day; it's on the fourth Thursday of November. So it changes like the day,
Mm-hmm.
but it's always on a Thursday. And I think it's because people get the day after Thanksgiving off from
Mm-hmm.
work, so they put it on a Thursday, so it's extra days off from work.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that's why.
I see. Well, that's good you told me about Columbus Day because I actually forgot. I knew about that sometime when I was studying at the university. But it's also a good historical thing to tell about to our kids and stuff because
Hmm.
when we were started to prepare for Thanksgiving Day, we discussed, and Nagata and I, we discussed a lot about the Native Americans. We watched the video, we were commenting, well, I was commenting that. I had some pictures to her, so she knew how they look like, and
Mm-hmm.
like that. So we're even making kind of a reconstruction of Mayflower coming from England to America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Agata remembers where you live, and she was asking me, like they were going to Sean. I said, no, that's a different place, but that's good. She remembers you, and that they were like watching that video all the time.
I used to live right next to that area, though.
Oh,
so it was not, yeah. And I have friends, some of my roommates are actually from Plymouth Rock, near that area.
Oh, that's
yeah.
great. That's
Mhm.
great. Well, okay, so the next question is again about school, because I'm actually interested how you have this in your school curriculum. Are kids told again about the historical roots of this holiday, what they do, what activities they do they have any drama or something like this?
What usually happens during Thanksgiving Day is it's almost like we treat it very similarly to Christmas, where except with a little bit less free time from work. Usually on Christmas you get almost a week, and Thanksgiving you get maybe 2 days. But anyway, we often do the house stays decorated with different fall things, like we put pumpkins, or we put just like corn, and we put maybe some fall colored leaves or something around to kind of for the decorations. In school, we have plays, and sometimes we'll have like a play. Usually it's something that's mostly for younger children, where they will pretend that they're the pilgrims, and they are setting up Thanksgiving, and then the Native Americans come and things like that. And even younger children, they often will do activities where they in our Thanksgiving, the bird, a turkey, is very important because it's a North American bird. It's only in North America, I believe, and so it has a significance with Thanksgiving. And so we draw turkeys, and sometimes we make turkeys in our art classes and things like that. I would say it's mostly geared towards younger children. And you asked about the history of it as well, yeah? I would say that we learned that in school that it's interesting because I went to a private school when I was younger, and it was a Christian school. So of course it was a very Christian education for Thanksgiving. But in general, I think that we don't learn too much about the religious portion of it. It's mostly the kind of the symbolism of coming together as a group, as a family, and kind of celebrating the year, and how all the farms have finished gathering crops and all their corn and things and grain, and now we have the big feast. And it's kind of a family event, really. That's the biggest portion of it. So yeah, that's generally how it's taught in our school, with, depending on who you ask, some part of religion in it as well.
Well, yeah, but it was just like I sent you in the question before. It was pretty curious to see that we read several books, and in all of those books there is a good part of religion, and it is kind of weird because it really has nothing to do with religion. There, I mean, this the feast itself, it's just giving thanks to somebody who helped you, like friendship and things like that. But still, they have they just have the description of people having this family get together on the Thanksgiving for the Thanksgiving dinner, and they are saying thanks to God. Do you really say thanks to God?
It depends on the family.
Well, yeah.
Some families absolutely, and some families absolutely not. In school, no, of course you do not, unless you go to a private school that's a Christian school as well, of course. But no, I think that in general it's not so religious. But to be honest, I think that some of the history of Thanksgiving is, as most of these holidays are, the origin of it is kind of difficult, and no one really knows. It started sometime when the pilgrims came to America, And some say there's a religious aspect, and some say there's not. It's a similar thing with Halloween. Like, who really knows where it started?
Yeah, I see. Well, now we are really curious to hear something more about your kind of personal life, about your family, about these traditions in your family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really get together? Like, I don't know if you have a big family or not, like aunts and uncles and cousins and oh.
I think as you get older, you start to do a little bit less and less because you get more and more busy. But definitely when I was younger, and when all my cousins were younger, and just in general, the whole family was younger, we had all got together, and basically, like I described, we would come over in the early afternoon, and we would have a big feast that would basically last from the afternoon until night. And we would, it's honestly a very kind of a simple thing. There's no really big event that goes on. There's no like particular, like, it's not like there's a special like songs, or there's no special, it's not like Halloween where you dress up or anything like that. There's nothing particular about it, other than just almost an excuse just to get together as a family. For the exception of maybe sometimes if you want the children to do something, the children to not be too bored, maybe you have them play some games that are, maybe you have them draw the turkeys or something, or if they didn't do it in school or something like that. But it's mostly just a family get-together, gathering kind of a party. And yeah, it's not like there's with Christmas you open your presents and things. There's nothing particular about it in that regard.
So you just get together and speak about your news.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of almost an excuse just to get together as a family. But as I get older, I do less and less. And definitely my plans for this Thanksgiving are to be with my family, but in general, more, as people get married and they move away, we're farther and farther away from each other. So the number of people that are actually getting together is smaller and smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, you and your family, you live in different places.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
But most of my family does live in San Diego, but about half of my family lives in other areas of America. But so there'll probably be 15 people or something at our Thanksgiving celebration.
Well, this is a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about my family. We have some relatives in my city here in Magnitogorsk, but we never see each other. And this is kind of pretty normal for us because everybody has some things to do, some jobs to do. And if it is a family with small kids, no time for this. But by the way, since we're speaking about family relations, what is the American pattern of the family?
The American what? I'm sorry.
American pattern of the family. This kind of relationships. Because, well, in Russia, I don't know, it also depends on the family, of course. Well, as for my family, we just see each other. Like maybe my cousin and her husband. This is it. We do not see any other relatives, although we have quite a few here. And some families, they are pretty much like, I don't know how to describe this, like friendly, super friendly, so they see each other for every occasion. How is it like in America? Is there any particular pattern for this?
Yes, and it's entirely dependent on where you live. So if you live in a city, it's exactly like how you experience it, where generally you might live far from your family. It's just your friends. We have what we call a Friendsgiving, where it's like, as opposed to a Thanksgiving, because your Thanksgiving is not even with your family, it's with your friends. So it's a Friendsgiving. But as far as how the structure of the family would be, especially if you live in a smaller town where everybody is closer, if you have kids, your kids are doing your same job, or they're helping you, and your cousins are helping you, and everybody's helping each other, then I'm sure it's similar in small towns in Russia where the family is much closer because they're dependent on each other, so they have to be, and then their family is also their best friend. Whereas in a big city, I think that becomes more difficult. Generally because you just move many times when somebody's in a big city, it's because they've moved from a small town and they're away from their family. So, but I think that we still place value on our family, but it's difficult to compare it to Russia as well. I'd say in a big city, we're very similar, which is generally where I've lived. I have not lived in like a small town for very much of my life.
I see. Well, when you were speaking, I just remembered my experience in America, and there was my boss. Her name was Candy, and my friend and we gave her a bar of Russian chocolate, and she said, "I tasted a chocolate that is so good." And the other day, my daughter came from a different state. I didn't give her. I thought this is pretty much fun. Like, this is kind of a fun relationship between mother and daughter. But I think maybe that's just, maybe she was saying that's fun. Or maybe that's normal. Fun.
I think generally when in America, when we try something because people in America, we rarely travel in other countries. So because of that, whenever we see a food or we get to try something that's not from our country, just because it's different, it's like the extra delicious. You know what I mean?
But Russian chocolate is delicious.
It's true, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so one more question. Let me just take a look at the list of my questions to you. What do you feel thankful for this year? Like, do you have any special things that happened and you really feel thankful coming to?
Yeah, I believe so. I'd say that this year I'm thankful for the fact that right now I'm in university, and I just went from college, and this is my first year at university, so I'm thankful that I got into my university. I am thankful that I just got a interview with a very good job, and it's possible that I'll get it, so I'm thankful for at least a shot at getting this job. And I'd say that I'm thankful for the fact that I get to live with all my friends. All my roommates are basically all my best friends, so it makes it's difficult to not be thankful sometimes in my position.
That's good.
And also the weather's been pretty warm for a long time, so I'm thankful for that as well.
Yeah, I see. Well, that's good also.
To be honest, I feel like maybe it's just because I was younger when I was younger, I feel like Thanksgiving was more important. Maybe that's just because I was younger and everyone in my family was younger. But now I realized, I think that most of these types of holidays, they're important just because work is so important in our daily life that we cannot wait to not work. And that's why we're happy we're happy for this holiday, because we don't have to work and it's a time we could be with our family or something like that. Obviously Christmas is a little bit different, but I feel like Thanksgiving when I think of Thanksgiving, I'm like, I can't wait to have days off from school or days off from work. It's not like I can't wait for Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving,
Well, still, you're not a kid. I mean, kids are waiting for something special, we're over it now. But, now I see when I have my kid, this is so much fun to create something for her. I mean, we're going to also create kind of a Thanksgiving party this Saturday. I think it's going to be next Saturday, actually, right? If it was Thursday. But we're going to do this Saturday. And I told her we're going to make chicken instead of turkey. She told me, no, I want turkey. I said, it is too big for us, and we actually do not know how to cook it. I mean,
it's like 10 kilograms or something.
Yeah, and it's really too big. So I said we're gonna make some kind of chicken, but we'll pretend it's turkey. And
you can just tell her it's turkey. She's still young enough that maybe she will think it's turkey if you just tell her.
She remembers things, We have
it's a small turkey.
Yeah, this is a baby turkey. Maybe that will work as a baby turkey, but it's pretty sad to speak about we're killing babies to eat. So. No, it's just one last thing, and we're gonna finish that, I think. as for bilingual kids, they have very good memory. And now when I'm speaking French to her, maybe you know there are different article according to the how to say gender. There's a gender in grammar. So it's like masculine, feminine, and plural, singular. And sometimes I forget the article and I say something and she's looking at me and says, no, that's not true. I say, how come? And she can the dictionary say, yeah, this is right, because I was mistaken before. And she says, no. And we have some kind of grammar dispute with my kid who is not even 3 years old. And this is very much fun.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
kids remember a lot. Surprising.
So that's why.
This is the best time to teach them language.
Yeah, amazing. Well, okay, so we're finishing up, I guess. Thank you so much for having this stream, because people are listening to us and they're
Hi, everybody.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, and
happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Christmas stream.
Excellent. Yeah, I can't wait. Thank you so much. You have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.